What's up guys, happy Monday, welcome to the Fomo Factory. Let's talk about the bigger picture of Bitcoin. It's not the most clickbaity title, but most people in this crypto market, they look at the chart and they see like, it's a little green on the 4 hour, I'm bullish now. Or it's a little red on the 1 hour, I'm bearish now. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look where we are right now compared to where we might go. And then you have to wonder yourself, does it really matter if I buy at 24, 23, 19, 30, whatever? Let's take a look at that. So welcome to the Fomo Factory. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and don't forget to smack the like button on the video. And also leave a comment with anything. It helps me push it into YouTube's algorithm, and I really appreciate you being here. Now let's take a look at a couple of interesting charts that I don't go over a lot, but I think they are really important. Before we get to that, Bitcoin currently is sitting at $23,400, right? We just closed another week around this area, which is pretty interesting because the longer we stay up here, the more we are building a base. And that's pretty bullish if you ask me. DXY, like I said, this is a big area of resistance, and it might be that we come down, and that's so far what we are doing. I expect this to go down more than where we are right now. Yeah, if we do break out of this area, then it's not really that good. Then I can see the DXY really go up a lot higher, but we have a lot of resistance right here. Let's not waste any time with these charts today. Let's take a look at a lot of on-chain metrics and a lot of stuff that helps you put it a little in perspective why you are going to make it, because you are watching this video. You are still here. You are one of the very few that is still here. So I don't know, you can be really proud of yourself. And I think that if you watch this, you already have a major benefit, right? Because everybody steps in when the bull market comes. I can actually show you the statistics of that. If you already have here before that happens, then you have a huge benefit. So let's go over a couple of charts here. First of all, the Bitcoin dominance, because like I said, altcoins, you should be a little careful with them right now. If we very quickly go to the altcoin market right here, if you look at this, the altcoin market is in this big downwards trend that you can see right here, and we are basically still in that trend. If you look at the smaller time frame, we were also in this downwards trend, and yeah, we broke that. We broke the bull market support band as well. So of course, a couple of things here are different than they were back here, for example, but overall still going down. And although a lot of altcoins might have found their bottom against the dollar, I think that if you just stack up on Bitcoin and later buy altcoins with that Bitcoin, you will be better off. And you know, the altcoin dominance or the Bitcoin dominance is showing that. I've showed you this chart a lot here, the Bitcoin dominance, but the problem is that this includes stable coins, right? And on Benjamin Cohen's platform, we can exclude stable coins. So this is without stables. And if you look, basically what we have been doing, we've been going up since May 2021, so that's almost 2 years, that although you hear a lot about altcoins, you know, overall, the money is flowing into Bitcoin, right? So you could have better been in Bitcoin since then, right? I mean, that's just what it is. This is still going up. Therefore, I don't see a good reason why this all of a sudden now should come down. Also, if we do come down, we don't have a lot of room to come down, right? So the people that calling for an altcoin season, we first have to go up before we can come down, because going down is an altcoin season, right? That's an altcoin season, and especially this move right here, right? But if we go down a little bit, we have a slight altcoin rally, but that's it, right? So you want to see this go up a lot more than this. And I honestly think that if we zoom out and we look overall over this bigger picture, that this level of around 59% on this chart is a pretty doable level. Also here 50, 53, 55 give or take is also a point where we could see a lot of resistance. So that's something to keep your eye out for. The total crypto market cap and trend line. This is just an interesting chart. I mean, if you look at how Bitcoin or the total crypto market cap is moving, right? It is moving between the upper band right here and the lower band, right? That's what it's been doing all the time. The red line is the fair value. And we are now, like every bear market, under the fair value. The fair value now comes in at 2 trillion. We now sit at 1, so that's kind of double from where we are right now. In the bull market, we always go way above that fair value, way above. Right here as well, doesn't look like a lot, but the fair value was 700 billion, and where we were was 2.3 trillion, so that was also 3 times as high still. Right, and we are now way under it. We could stay here for, you know, a year. I mean, this band is moving up. So even though the crypto market moves up, we could still be there. So, but that's a good indication, like, okay, is it a bull market or not? Well, when we look at this, it's definitely not a bull market yet, right? So, you know, the opportunity is still here. Also, if we look at the historical risk levels, this is kind of interesting. So this is the total market cap. The red line is the risk level. And this is based on a lot of different metrics. But basically, the lower it is, the better the time to buy, right? Because every time this was so low, was at the bottom, right? The blue line is the market cap. Here as well, we were so low, we had the bottom. Here it was low, we had the bottom, and here again it was pretty low, right? That wasn't the bottom, however. The bottom was here, and the risk levels was already going up. So that's a little bit different this time, definitely. But overall, we're sitting at 0.4, right? 0.4, and that goes from 0 to 1, right? So it's like, do you want to buy based on this chart? Nah. If you look at Bitcoin, for example, kind of the same, right? Nothing really changes. If you look at ETH is sitting way higher. All right, so ETH is sitting above 0.5. And what Benjamin said right here, this chart could be used for dynamic DCAing. When risk levels are below 0.5 and get close to 0, you can choose to increase your buys. In this way, you can you will not miss out on setting up a position, and you can factor emotion out of trading, right? And above 0.5 goes for selling. Well, ETH is sitting at 0.5 at the moment, so. And that's exactly like, I'm not touching ETH right now. I have a little bit, I'm not selling it, but I'm definitely also not buying some right now. So, and this chart backs it up. So ETH is not that interesting. If you look at Cardano, it's quite low. If you look at BNB, it's quite high. Solana is quite low, of course, and Chainlink is kind of low as well. If you look at the total altcoin market, it's sitting at 0.4 as well, right? And there were a lot of times that it was way, way, way lower than that, at 0.1, 0.2, even way lower, 0.003, even here, 0.007. So we are now way, way, way higher than that. So the altcoin market is just not looking like it's the best opportunity right now. We had that back in June, and we had some opportunities in December, give or take, November as well, by the way. But that's not really that interesting for now. And this keeps diminishing returns in consideration, right? So although it's sitting so high as right here, we could just go right here as well. It's possible. Then, you know, something bullish. If you look over the longer term, which is quite interesting, you see this. So this is the ROI after a cycle peak, right? So here was the cycle peak of all the cycles. So in the last cycle, it was $69,000. In the cycle before that was like 20K, give or take. Right? If you look at that, the green line is where we are right now. You can see that peak is right now. The orange line is 2020. The red line is 2015-16, right? And the blue line is the first cycle, 2012-13, right? But if you look where we are right now, we're just following kind of the same pattern, right? The blue was kind of exceptionary. I admit that was the first cycle, less liquidity, people didn't know what to expect. So I don't think that cycle is really that comparable, to be honest. So let's remove that one, right, to have a bigger picture of it, more clear picture. What happened so far? We're doing a way better than the average cycle, because one, we did not get that low as the previous two cycles. So Bitcoin is doing better price-wise, but also where we are right now compared to other cycles, we are also sitting a lot higher, right? So could it be that this line is going to do exactly what the rest is doing as well, but overall a little higher than that? Possible. We are now sitting on an ROI of around 0.34, right? So you have to know, one is $69,000. That's where we came from. We're now sitting basically, well, 0.35. So we're sitting 35%. We are at 35% of what the top was, if you know what I mean. So that's where we are right now. However, if you look at the previous 2 cycles and where they went from there, right? Eventually, in 2021, the last cycle, we went to an ROI of 3.44. So that's 3.4x higher than the previous all-time high. The red line, the cycle before that, went 17.3%, 17.3x higher than the all-time high before that. Right, so could it be that we follow something like this and that we go somewhere in between? So not 3, not 17, but let's say 10, right? 10. 10 times $69,000 is, it's possible. It's average, right? Still, a lot of people maybe listen to that and they feel like that's ridiculous. Well, yeah, so far it's exactly what it's doing, right? So it's absolutely possible. If you want to be a little more on the bearish side, you could also say that we maybe do something like we did in 2019, 20, give or take, right? Because that's so far the most comparable cycle so far. Cool, that's a 3x, right? Also fine, 3 times 70K is $210,000. Fine with that as well. But that's something where we could end up. Although, if you look at these cycles, we saw the low on these 2 previous cycles. We went up, definitely, but we did a lot of sideways movements, right? We basically went up, and from this point, give or take, from 700 days up till 1,000 days, we went sideways. So we went sideways for a year before something actually happened. And that's so hard in crypto, because we go down, right? In every cycle is what we do, right? We go down, and that's where everybody thinks like, oh, this is so bad, and this is the worst part of it. Nah, not really. The worst part is basically, you know, going down and then do a whole lot of nothing, basically. Yeah, we had these wicks to the up and the downside, but overall, we were here in June 2019, right? But in July 2020, we were exactly at the same spot. So if you were just holding right there, then you went through a lot and the outcome was still the same, right? So it's a lot of emotions for nothing. So try, if you just hodling, try to turn off your emotions, right? And it's the same, like we are now exactly where we were in June last year, basically, right? But the difference is back here, 23K was low. Right, it was low and everybody was bearish. Now, if we reach that level, everybody's like, "Oh, nice," right? So it's a little different, although the price is exactly the same. But it's funny to see how you can compare these cycles right here. Something else which is pretty interesting. This is the 1-year hodl wave. So these are wallets with Bitcoin that are not moved their Bitcoin for over a year. Right, for a year. And if you look at that, this line is basically only going up. We are up and down and up and down, of course, sorry. But we now sit at the highest point, right? So although this is happening in the market, people are not moving their Bitcoin. Matter of fact, when it was going up right here, right, we went up, people were moving their Bitcoin. People were taking profits probably, right? You see this line coming down right here and this line going up. This is the Bitcoin price and this is the wallets, right? So as soon as Bitcoin goes up, people decide to take profits. But it's funny because as soon as Bitcoin is going down, these wallets increase. So people overall don't really give a shit. Also, it's quite funny to see that. If you look at the 5-year hodl wave, so the same, but then people that haven't moved their Bitcoin in 5 years, these wallets are only going up. These wallets are only going up. I mean, it's like February 2020, this was a year ago. We were sitting at 22% that haven't moved their Bitcoin. Now, a year later, it's already 28%. So it's really funny to see that. Also, if you look where, you know, where we when this is not, look, okay, whatever, you see these bumps right here, right? You see that bump over here, you see this bump over here, right? This is where people suddenly get rid or at least move their Bitcoin. But when do they do that? When the price is going up. Definitely not when, you know, it's at its high, but when it's going up right here. And here it's the other way around. Here we went down all the way from 69K to 37, and this is where people decide, okay, let's move my Bitcoin. So even the people that are very dedicated, they make human mistakes by probably selling their Bitcoin at half the price that it was, right? If you come all that way down, you might as well hold it. And yeah, in the bigger scheme of things, selling at 37 was a good move, but you know, you don't know that by then. If you look at the addresses, that's also very bullish to me, that are finally whole coiners, right? So addresses with a whole Bitcoin. Look at these addresses only going up. And that's funny because now we have a bear market, right? We have a bear market and it's going down. And look at these addresses spike, right? So, and these are not whales. I mean, whales have more than one Bitcoin, right? This is retail. So although the market is coming down and a lot of retail doesn't care anymore, and a lot of people are out of crypto, I can show you that as well. The retail that is left, they really believe in it. And that's quite funny. I mean, take a look at this. This is, I showed you this a lot, but this is the social metric indicator, right? So this is overall, if you look at the social metrics, overall coming down. If you put a moving average over it, for example, 14 days, you see the red line, people are losing interest, right? It's coming down really hard. It's crashing. So this is where a lot of people interact on YouTube, Twitter, whatever, right? And it's coming down so hard. So overall, these are also not whales. This is overall retail, right? People that just watch YouTube videos, follow people on Twitter and all that. It's coming down, so people lose interest. But this chart shows me that the ones are there. They see Bitcoin going down and they feel like, okay, nice, now I got a whole Bitcoin. Why do they want to do that? Well, because they know and believe in the fact that Bitcoin will be okay and there will be another bull market and you will get a lot of money from that. So overall, I do think that there will be a point where the whales and the big institutions, and they now can really manipulate the market, of course. But retail is stacking up at the right times, right? And eventually retail has much more and they will control the game. It's nice to see. If you look at the rainbow price indicator, yeah, it's just perspective, right? I mean, that's what they say. This is how Bitcoin moves. The blue area is where it says like, okay, this is a fire sale. You have to get it. It's like so cheap right now. And the red line is like, oh, this is a complete bubble. It has to collapse from this point. Look where we are right now. We are really low, like we weren't even in the rainbow anymore. This is it. This is all the way in the pot of gold. Yeah, like this is where the leprechaun lives, right? So, and we are now back in the most bearish area, right? What stands out to me is it's kind of diminishing. If you look right here, we were way above it. Here we were also above it, but less already. Here we were perfectly at the top. And in this cycle, we weren't at the top. So could it be next cycle that we just end up in the green? Could be, right? And the green is now at around $60,000. By that time, it's way more, of course, because the indicator is moving up as well. But it's quite interesting. And overall, the MVRVZ score, sorry, this is a perfect indicator as well, right? Every time that we are in this low area between zero, right, basically, between 0 and minus 0.5, give or take, that's the area where you wanted the Holocaust, right? I mean, we were here, and that was the bottom. We were here, and it was the bottom. We were here, was the bottom. In the COVID crash, we were there as well, was the bottom. And we were here as well. Bottom, we are now out of it, right? Doesn't happen a lot that we get out of it and go back in it, really, right? Here, we went all the way down. We got out of it. We had a slightly dip below in it again, but the bottom was long gone, right? Here we went in it, but we stayed in there. And once we got out of it, we didn't get back in it again, right? Here, same story. So, might it be that we go back in it again and find a new bottom? It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely if you ask me. So that's for Bitcoin. On the longer term perspective, right? Like, you want to know, if you play this game, why you play this game, right? Are you buying at 23 because you want to sell at 28? Go ahead, and this video is nothing for you, right? But if you feel like, yeah, I want just to accumulate right now, and I can have patience for 2.5 years, and then sell around the top of the next bull market, yeah, then this is stuff you need to know, of course, right? Overall, again, Bitcoin on the monthly, let me put it on this one. Bitcoin on the monthly chart, looking really good, if you ask me. I mean, we have 2 pretty strong months so far. The month is almost over. It's February, I never understand that. We have 1 more day to go. Life's going so fast. But if we want to close in the red, then, before the end of tomorrow, we must go down 2%, right? It's possible. It's possible. Does it matter? Well, I don't know. You want to have a green month close, of course, right? It does something here. But overall, if we close a little red, yeah, it's okay. But there's a high chance that we close in the green. We want to close above 23.1. We are not that far from there, right? So, be a little careful with your expectations about how the month is going to end. Overall, if you look at the monthly chart, looks really decent to me, to be honest. I mean, we had a bear market, couple of months sideways, up. We had a bear market, couple of months sideways, up. We have a bear market, couple of months sideways, up. The stochastic RSI as well. There were 2 times before that we were that low, right? 2014-15, right? In this bear market. Once we came out of it, big ass bull market. Then we had another bear market, came there again, oversold, right? And once we come out of it, we really started the rally. Now it's the 3rd time we are here. And we are finally getting out of it. Now, the cool thing is that I want to see how the month closes, but I will be surprised if this doesn't turn upward. If it does turn upwards, yeah, then it would be really hard for me to believe that we get back in here again. That didn't happen before, right? Once we got out of it, we got out of it. So yeah, 2 more things. Seedify, really bullish. This is the developer, the CEO of Seedify. He says, for the first project of the Seedify AI Labs that will start from a $22,000 initial market cap, we will use mainly AI tools from the idea to launch phase while sharing the process. So the raise will only be $100,000, but very interesting. So I got me a bunch more Seedify tokens. I want to get the highest tier possible because you cannot invest a lot probably in this pre-sale since they only raise $100,000. But if they start with a 22K market cap, you have to know. They released SNFTS, went to 50 million. I'm not saying this goes to 50 million, but I do say if it goes from 22 to a million, that's a 40x give or take, right? And then it's still micro cap. And they release good projects. So Seedify is one that I'm accumulating like crazy. I bought quite high, to be honest. I bought at 120. And I've bought quite a lot as well. Bought here. Not the best place to buy. But I want to have a little more. So if it goes down, I'm not mad about it. But Seedify overall looking good. I mean, still climbing upwards. It's now facing some horizontal resistance right here. Bull market support band right there. So it's a tough place for Seedify. So it likely gets rejected right here back to 112. If it happens, I'm gonna buy more. If it goes back in this range, then even 90 cents is possible. But if it does break through, then I can see it go all the way to 150, 160, give or take. That's the first stop. If you look at the bigger picture on the weekly time frame, yeah, then you can see that if we break around this area, then the next stop is basically around $3. So there's a long way to go for Seedify. So I really love it. And Delysium, I have 8 nodes running right now on this project. This is my gem, my gem. But a lot of you guys have that gem as well, because I see you buy a lot of these nodes. So if you don't have it, links in the description. Go to the website, get your private code in the description, so you can buy your private node and get these tokens daily before they release on the Bybit Launchpad, and a lot of other awesome stuff. Coming Friday, I will be interviewing someone from the team. I thought it was the co-founder. I have to take a look at who it is exactly, but I'm very curious. Ask your questions about the project by then, or already drop them in the comments right now so I can take them with me. That's it for now. Long enough. Sorry for wasting your time. But if you have subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so I can bore you every day with this stuff. Like the video, turn on the bell notifications so you won't miss out on anything. And I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Have a very lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.